see you.
Welcome back to your final year of Teen Wolf. A long journey, hasn't it?
Yes, surprisingly long. We never knew it would go 100 episodes.
We did.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah. We did. Fans knew.
That's great. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us? There's been so many twists and turns, so many characters coming and going, being written out, killed off, dying, getting married. What can fans expect from this final episode that they can just go, wow?
We haven't written it yet, so we're not even sure ourselves. We do know the last scene. We're pretty certain what the last scene will be, and it does feel like a fitting end to the show. So,
well, if you share it with us, we won't do any spoilers.
Can't say a word.
We did ask Tyler the question. He said this is a Jeff Davis question, so I'm going to put it on the table. A lot of the characters have been killed, but it is a supernatural show, so spiritually, can they come back, and will we see some of our favorite?
We'll see. I am working on bringing one or two people back who we haven't seen in a while, which would be really fun. But I can't mention who because you never know how these contract things work out.
Not a worry.
Especially like with Dylan's case, where how are you trying to work Styles into that?
That was hard.
Hard?
It became part of the season itself. Usually what we say is some things happen where an actor will book a pilot and we'll have to coma them for 3 episodes. We did that with Cora Hale, where we're like, crap, what are we going to do? She's got to go off and shoot Rain for 4 weeks. We're screwed. So we comed her. It's hard, especially in the business now where there's over 400 scripted shows and there is so much competition for grabbing actors.
Yeah, but I think that is a good route to go, where it's like you don't do the typical TV thing.
Yeah.
Like you worked him into the actual story. So I think that was, I applaud that.
Yeah, and one of the things we've always been willing to do with actors is try to work the schedule so that they can do other stuff. I'm a big believer in actors being able to flex their creative muscles in other projects. It makes them better on the show, too. It's a little bit of a hassle with scheduling, and my first AD and second AD hate me for it, but I think it's good for the show.
No, I asked this of Tyler. Teen Wolf is coming to an end, much to fans, upset.
Yeah.
And I'm sure yours too. But have you ever considered going into a feature film and doing maybe 1, 2, and 3 as Teen Wolf is now adult Wolf and raising his own, kind of going through the angst of his own family?
Tyler and I have always talked about doing a movie, and that would be up to MTV.
This as going into a feature film.
It'd be fun. We'd get to work with a bit of a larger budget too, so who knows what the future holds. But we've got other projects cooking now. Tyler's working on something. I've got another pilot for TNT, actually, for Let the Right One In. Oh, you didn't know that?
I think I got a press release on that. Yeah. Looks really good.
We start shooting in a couple weeks. We've just hired a couple cast members, which is good because we shoot it in 2 weeks in Vancouver. Eros Lin, the director of shows like Happy Valley, and he's done Doctor Who, 2 episodes of Daredevil. He's directing the pilot. And Christine Froseth is going to play the vampire Ile. It is actually more based on the book. It's more inspired by the book than a remake of the film. Yeah, it takes elements from the book that neither film have been able to do.
Yeah, so it'll get a little more in depth into the character. Yes. Now, will you be not only executive producer, but you'll be a writer on that as well?
Yeah, I wrote the pilot and will likely be show running it. I'm splitting my time between the 2 projects now. I've been flying back and forth. It's hard to do. I don't know how people usually do it. I'm amazed that Shonda Rhimes can actually write on several shows and keep track of it. Although she has a lot of good writers working for her. Yeah.
So what is going to be your biggest takeaway from Teen Wolf when it's all said and done?
That it was the best working experience I've ever had, and some of the best friendships that I've made. It's a rather amazing thing to really love the people you work with. I mean, I worked in IT for years, and I would sit in a cubicle in a basement where it was dark and dismal, and I said, I'm getting out of cubicle hell. I'm never going to work in a cubicle again. And then you have a place where you love to come to work every day, and you love the people you work with. That's a great thing. There are the struggles and the stresses of it as well. But I also like that it's very gratifying to me as a writer to know that millions of people over the entire world have watched the show and enjoyed it and liked it. And it meant something to them. Not that it wasn't just an hour-long diversion, but that it actually meant something to them.
Did you just decide to quit the IT thing one day, or did you kind of do like a slow, long-term plan into it?
No, that was to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I wrote my first screenplay when I was 16 years old, and by the time I got to college, I'd written about 18 or 20. And I went to USC for screenwriting. The day I was on the cover of Variety, having sold a pitch to Paramount with William Friedkin directing, actually, never went anywhere. But I was on the cover of Variety, and I worked at Fox and went to the Fox studio store, got 3 copies of Variety, brought it back, and then did the rest of my IT day where I basically helped UPS unload computer boxes. I would open them up, put little barcode stickers on them, tape them back up, and then ship them out for installs. And I was broke and didn't have enough money to quit.
So if there's someone dreaming of being you, there is hope, and you can say
They
to
can
them,
do it.
hold tight to your dream, don't let go.
You know, it's funny, I was at a screenwriting conference once doing a talk with one or two other people on the panel, and one of the people in the audience said, now seriously, how likely is it that one of us is going to become one of you? And I said to him, 5 years ago, I was in the audience of a screenwriting conference thinking the same thing. So not only is it possible, but if you keep working at it, it's likely.
I think that's the amazing thing about teamwork. It's like, especially even from my personal perspective, that it gives people hope and desire to go after the things they want.
Yeah.
And just seeing like the growth in all the casts and all the things that they've gotten to do. So I'm sure that's pretty special for you firsthand to see that you brought them on and see where they are now.
One of my biggest things about being a showrunner is elevating people to where they want to go. My first AD, J.D. Taylor, has directed 2 episodes. My DP, Dave Daniel, has directed an episode. My script supervisor, Katie, has directed 2 episodes and did a phenomenal job. And these are people who would not otherwise get chances because episodes, they don't get chances.
That's very European, though. A lot of Europeans, if you worked for Ken Russell, you did everything, and so did he.
Yeah.
That's why when you look at shows like Clever Man out of Australia, have you had a chance to peek at that?
No, I haven't. I'll take a look.
Netflix, trust me, you'll love it. But
I'm going on to my 2nd season of Peaky Blinders right now.
Oh,
so
no, Clever Man, it's production quality, but when you look at foreigners, not American productions, you say, where do these people come from? Well, they do everything. They wear every hat, and nobody says they're too good.
Yeah, it's great.
And I think that's what your casting crew said. I'll do it.
Yeah.
You want me in that role? I'll do it. You know?
The cast and crew have been extraordinary.
They've been fabulous.
Yeah.
Fans have just, and when they do the shows, fans have gobbled them up. You guys know that.
So you talked about in the panel going through depression as a teenager and kind of, wanting to give back. So what do you think would be your biggest takeaway that you would want that young people to take from the show?
I think somebody else asked me this, and I said the big takeaway for anyone who watches or is affected by the show would be that friendship is one of the most important relationships, and sticking by your friends and being loyal is everything. I always say and write that these are the kinds of friendships I wish I had in high school. So, and it's very gratifying to me to hear that people have met some of their best friends because of the show, or that they've repaired relationships because of the show. That's extraordinary. Have you really?
I have.
That's great. I love hearing that.
I've lost 50 pounds because of your show.
Really?
When you guys did your press conference here a couple of years ago, I was sitting on my exercise bike watching it.
Wow.
So if you do a Teen Wolf workout, I want 10%.
Good for you. Good for you.
No, I put on a lot of weight foot surgery. When you guys first started, I couldn't walk because of 9 pins in my left foot. So I would sit and watch the music, and I would do the life cycle in my living room. And I'm like, oh wait, they're going to cancel this, and I'm just now getting back down to a size 6. This is not right. I'm going to a size 4.
Well, you can always start from the beginning again and watch it over.
New series.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the only shows I think that where people connect on such a real level, and like it transcends like all the different types of communication. Like you know, like there's people that I just started tweeting with this show about, and then now we've met, we've become friends. You know,
that's amazing.
Jobs that way, like it's pretty crazy that show is. So I'm sure that that's something. It's
amazing to hear.
Yeah, that you guys are blown away by.
Yeah. I also love seeing the artwork too. So much of it. It's extraordinary.
There's amazing team of artists.
Yeah, they are. They're really incredible. We had a museum exhibit, an art exhibit last year. It was in New York. I think it was last year. Yeah, where art was commissioned from some of the best Teen Wolf artists, and it was extraordinary.
Is that why we got the coloring book today?
I saw the coloring book. I didn't even know about the coloring book. Really?
Really cool.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's great. You know, the coloring books these days, it's a way to relieve stress.
That's what my mom
I have a Star Wars one at home. Good?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.